Hey queens, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I thought I'd show you guys my everyday makeup routine. So if you want to see how I get my makeup looking like this, keep watching. If you can see my patchy fake tan, please ignore it. I haven't tanned in over a week and I haven't scrubbed it off either, so it's just really patchy. I've already done my skin prep, but I'll show you what I used. I used 3 products. I used the Vogue Glazing Milk. This is one of my favourite products ever. It just gives you that perfect glass skin. And then I used the Kiehl's Avocado Eye Cream. Again, another one of my favourite products. I have really bad under eyes. Not like dark, but like there's really, the skin around my eyes is really thin, and I feel like this really helps and it just brightens them so much. And then for moisturiser, I use the Ordinary Natural Moisturising Factors and Phytoceramides. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's this. This is my favourite moisturiser in the whole world. That was my skin prep, and now I'll move on to my makeup. For my base, I'll normally either use the e.l.f. Halo Glow, or I will use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. Both of these are really good. Like, I don't really see that much of a difference between the two. Don't get me wrong, I love this so much and it gives such a nice glow. I feel like the e.l.f. one has a bit more coverage and it's a little less like sheer than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but they're both really good. So like honestly, just get the e.l.f. one. I use this more than I use this. I don't use this very often. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. one. I always get them in like a bit of a darker shade than my actual skin because it just makes you look a bit more tanned, especially when I've got fake tan on. I don't want to get like a lighter one. I'm just using this brush from Real Techniques to blend it in. I love using these type of brushes to blend my base in. I then go in with a cream bronzer. Sometimes I do this after concealer, sometimes I do it before, but I like to use the Refi cream bronzer. I use the shade Tan. This is like my favourite cream bronzer ever. I just use like an angled brush. I've had this for a shocking amount of time, but why fix it if it's not broken? I just sort of use this to warm my face up a little bit. For concealer, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer is my ride or die. As you can tell, I've literally never emptied a product like that before. I also have the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It's not as good, but it's still like, okay. I feel like this one has better coverage than the Maybelline one, but they're both really good. I just put it under my eyes in these places to sort of conceal and brighten, and then I blend that out with a beauty blender. It's still a bit damp from yesterday, so I'm not going to wet it again, but make sure you wet your beauty blender. I always used to struggle with creasing under my eyes, and I feel like since I've started using that eye cream, it's got so much better. It still creases a little bit, but I think that's just the shape of my eye. As you can see, it's just sort of brightened my under eyes, and the coverage is so good. I'm then going to go in with a contour stick. I literally just have this foundation stick from Primark. It's so good though. I can't remember who I found this from. It was definitely a YouTuber, but I don't remember her name. But I use it in the shade Chai, and I'm just going to use this to contour my nose. I say contour, but like I'm sort of just adding colour to it because I don't really pay much attention. I'm just going to add a little bit where I put the other cream on as well. And then for that, I'm just going to use the Refi Duo brush. Ignore the state of it. I don't really know what happened to it, but I'm just going to use this end to blend it out. If you can't tell, I'm not very precise with my makeup. I sort of just chuck it on and blend it in. But I feel like when I try too hard, I never like the way that my makeup looks. To blend it out on my nose, I just use this brush. It's literally from Primark. I have no idea like what it's called or anything, but any like small brush will do. And then I normally just go back in with the beauty blender with whatever's left on it just to blend the concealer back onto my nose a little bit. For blush, I have 2 favourites. I either use the e.l.f. Camo Blush in the shade Very Well, or I use the Refi Cream Blush in the shade Malaya? I don't know. If you can't tell, I absolutely love her. I feel like this is a bit more pigmented, so if you're looking for like a really like pigmented liquid blush, go for this one. But for today I'm going to use the Refi one because I want a little bit more of a natural blush. I'm just going to use the same Refi brush, I'm going to use the same end, and I'm just going to pop that on my cheeks. As you can see, it just gives that sort of natural glowy blush look. I literally never used to use blush, but I feel like it just adds a bit more colour and dimension to your face. I'm now going to go in with powder. For my powder, I use the Huda Beauty loose powder in the shade Pound Cake. I've had this for so long, I feel like it just doesn't run out, and I've seen people say the same on TikTok. I just take a bit on my, what are these called? Powder puffs. Is that wrong? I don't know. I'm taking a bit and I'm just pushing it into the back of my hand. And then I'm just going to go in under my eyes. I just put the tiniest bit under my eyes at first, just to stop any creasing. And then I go in with a little bit more. I wouldn't call it baking because I don't really leave it on. I also kind of use it to shape my nose contour a little bit, just around the edges. I take whatever's left on it and I just pop it in any places that gets a bit more like oily or whatever. While that's sitting, I'm going to do my eyebrows. For my brows, I use the Revolution brow pencil in the shade Dark Brown. I've been using this for so long, this is literally like my 5th one. And then for eyebrow gel, I either use the Refi brow gel or I use the got2b brow gel. If you like the soap brows look, go for the Refi one. I just feel like for every day, sometimes it's a bit much, but I do actually love this. Usually I do just use the got2b glued. I don't do anything too crazy, I sort of just fill them in a little bit and then extend the tail because for some reason my eyebrows just stop and I like a bit of a longer tail, and I do it like straight back to lift my face a bit. Literally that is all I do with the pencil. I don't like them too dark or too blocky, so I'm very light with the pencil. Unless that's the look you're going for, then absolutely go for it, but I like a more of a natural look. And then I just go in with the brow gel to set them. This actually holds really well. My brows don't really move throughout the day. That is the brows, and then I'm just going to brush off the powder that's under my eyes. I try and push it in as well as brush it off because you don't want to like scrape the makeup off your face. For highlight, I either use a liquid one or a powder one. I've recently been using the Too Faced Moon Crush highlighter. I have it in the shade Shooting Star, or what I used to use is, that's really helpful. It's definitely from Revolution and it's in the shade Ablaze. I'm not really sure what it's called or what it is. I don't know if they sell it anymore. And I literally lost the applicator. Don't know how. It fell off. But like it still works. You can still use the product. But I am going to go in with the Too Faced highlighter because this has been my favourite at the moment. I just go in with a brush like this, sort of like a round, I'm pretty sure this is an eyeshadow brush, but I use it to highlight my nose. I literally just add a little dot on the end of my nose and then some on the bridge of my nose, like that. And I also put it in the inner corners of my eyes. I feel like it just sort of opens up your eyes a bit. I'm going to go in with a layer of setting spray. I'm just using the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is nearly all gone, I need to get a new one. I used to use the Charlotte Tilbury one, but I used all of that, and now this one's nearly all gone. I don't really use like powder bronzer or powder blush. If I am going to use powder blush, I will just use the Dior Rosy Glow in the shade Rosewood. I feel like if you're looking for a blush that you can really build up, I think this is a really good option. And then I have a few powder bronzers, but I literally hate all of them. Like I can't find a good powder bronzer. I've tried the Benefit one, I've tried literally so many. I want to try the NARS one, but then I looked it up on TikTok and apparently it just goes patchy. So if you have any recommendations for a good powder bronzer, let me know because I really need one. For my everyday makeup, I kind of like the Just Cream product look anyway, but like when I'm doing like a full face of makeup, I need a powder bronzer. Moving on to mascara, I literally love mascara so much. I feel like I look like a different person with mascara on. I really need to get a lash lift. I've booked in to go on the 17th, I think. So in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about because I haven't had one since August maybe. So I'm really excited. My go-to mascara, if you know me, is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, the waterproof one. This is like the best mascara ever. But recently I've been mixing it with the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara and it's genuinely the perfect combo. I put this on first and then like on the ends I'll go in with the Telescopic Mascara and your lashes would have never looked so good. Before I go in mascara, obviously I curl my lashes. I feel like my lashes have stopped growing, which to be honest probably is my fault because I'm so bad at remembering to put my lash serum on. But I went through a phase where I was really consistent with it and my lashes grew so much, and now I feel like they've just stopped growing. So I really need to start remembering to put my lash serum on. Currently using UK Lash. I've always had like long lashes, but since I've used lash serum, they have grown even more. I'm one of them people who get so much mascara over their eyelids when they're doing their mascara. I just feel like if I don't do that, my lashes don't look good. I don't know how people do it without getting on their eyelids. I'm about to look insane, so I'm going to come back to you when I've done both eyes and taking it off my eyelids. That is my mascara done. I feel like, as I said earlier, I look like a different person with mascara on. I feel like mascara really changes your makeup. Like I feel like I look so different. Onto my lip combo, which I also get a lot of questions about. My current everyday lip combo is the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Pillow Talk Medium, and then I just use the Summer Fridays lip butter balm in Vanilla. This is nearly all gone, which I'm really sad about. And I don't know whether to get this again or whether to get Laneige. I really want to get the Eggnog Laneige lip mask. I don't like eggnog, but apparently it just smells really sweet. I do kind of overline my lips, but who doesn't these days, you know what I mean? I feel like this is the perfect shade lip liner. I tried for so long to find a dupe, but in the end I just gave up and I just bought the real thing, and I have absolutely no regrets. Look how much of it I've used. Then I just used the Summer Fridays lip balm. If I want a bit of like a darker outline on my lip, which I do use sometimes like on an everyday basis, I will use the Rimmel lip liner in the shade Cappuccino. This used to be my go-to like everyday lip liner until I found the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk one. I just feel like this was a bit dark for me for everyday, but I still love her, I still use her all the time. I've literally had this longer though, and I think you can see which one's my favourite. Recently I've been setting my makeup with this setting spray. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. If your makeup never stays, you need to try this, because since I've been using this, my makeup doesn't transfer, doesn't freeze. Although what I will say is it does make your skin feel a little bit dry, so if you do have dry skin, I probably wouldn't recommend this, but I normally use it if I'm going out somewhere and I want my makeup to last, but I'm not going to use it today because I'm not going out for long, so I don't need my makeup to last hours. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Follow me on my other socials and let me know if there's any videos you guys want to see.